Hoosiers lost another honorable man when Air Force Technical Sergeant Ryan Balmer, a native son of Mishawaka, was killed on June 5th in Kirkuk, Iraq, when his Humvee, leading a 3-vehicle convoy, was hit by another improvised explosive device. Ryan was stationed at Hill Air Force Base in Utah, where he lived with his wife Danielle and their 2 children, Anthony and Gabby. His family, including his mom, Patricia, was anticipating his scheduled arrival home 5 days later when they were informed of his death. Danielle had made posters, buttons and banners to welcome Ryan home. He was this close to his last day in Iraq. They had planned to line the road to the house with American flags. She had made a shirt for her daughter Gabby that read, "My daddy's finally home." Sadly, Danielle saw the uniformed Air Force officers come to her house first. They included Ryan's saddened commanding officer. She learned that her beloved husband was not coming home. According to Danielle, Ryan died doing what he loved, serving the country he was so devoted to. Shortly after graduation from Mishawaka High School, Ryan joined the Air Force, where he became part of the Office of Special Investigations. His mission was to help identify, investigate, and neutralize criminal, terrorist, and espionage threats. It is one of the most dangerous assignments in the United States Air Force. At the time of his death, he was serving as a liaison between the Iraqi police and the U.S. military officials in Kirkuk. His commander, General Dana Simmons, called him a warrior who made the ultimate sacrifice in his brave performance of duty. In honor of Ryan, American Legion Post 161 in Mishawaka, just this past Sunday, rededicated itself on Veterans Day as Ryan A. Balmer Post 161. I was privileged to attend this wonderful tribute to such a fine young man with Danielle and Pat and the rest of the Balmer family. On June 18th of this year, the wonderful city of Elkhart lost one of their native sons when Specialist David Wilkie died of wounds suffered near his unit as they patrolled the streets of Baghdad. David grew up in the wilderness of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. He loved the outdoors, and as his stepmom Margaret put it, his passion was nature. If he had to pick where he was going to live, he would have picked a cabin in the middle of the woods with a pond nearby. The pond was for fishing, for David loved to both hunt and to fish. As much as he loved the woods, though, he loved his family even more. From his niece, whose eyes got big whenever he arrived, to his aunt, who misses his smile, and most of all, his family was at the heart of David's life. According to his wife, Melinda, he wanted a big family, and he was a wonderful family man. In marrying Melinda in December of 2005, his dream of a big family took root. That love showed immediately. It showed in the way he treated his stepson Christian as his own. It showed in the birth of his son Blake. And it shows today in the brand new baby girl that Melinda had on October 7th, some months after his death. Little Alexa was born. David was a truly remarkable man, a remarkable American. In his love of nature and family, he displayed this every day. And he also displayed it in his sense of duty. David was laid off from work as he had just married Melinda. And he wanted to make sure his family was taken care of. He wanted a secure future. So David chose service in the army. Where so many are content to let others provide for them, that was unacceptable to David. His determination, his courage, his sense of duty to his family, those are the qualities, the simple and small touches of everyday nobility that make this country great and made David such a fine, outstanding young man. Just a few months later, Army Corporal Sean Hensel of Logansport died on August 14th from wounds sustained during an enemy attack in Baghdad. Shortly after learning about his death, Sean's dad, David, spoke of the love for Sean among his family. Sean had two sisters that loved him so. Observing the crowd at a memorial service for Sean just 1 week later, his sister Autumn noted, "It's nice to know that one person could be loved so much." He was loved by his family and by his community. Sean had been married just 8 months before his death to his wife Lacey. Lacey noted of Sean, the love he had for his country and his family was unbelievable. This observation was reinforced by Pastor Strite, the preacher at the Church of Christ in Logansport. He was privileged to wear his uniform, and he wore it whenever he could. This love of country, this pride in service, played on another quality of Sean's. His friend Chuck Porter remarked, "Sean just had a way to get into your heart." His life and service now leaves him in all our hearts. I was there on the day of Sean's funeral, and one of the most remarkable sights you could ever see in this country. As he was being escorted to the cemetery, we drove through the city of Logansport. And from one end to the other, 5 deep on either side of the road, people standing there with one hand over their hearts, the other hand holding an American flag, and tears being shed at every corner. It was a remarkable tribute from a remarkable city to a remarkable young man.